back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing your weekly horoscope forecast for all the zodiac signs for the week of January 28th through February 3rd, 2019. I want to cover a couple of things before getting into the video. Tea with Spirit show is returning back in February, so you can go ahead and start submitting your one question if you have not yet submitted a question to my email address, which is raymondguzman@hotmail.com. And in the subject line of your email, you need to put Tea with Spirit, and in the body of the email, be specific, ask a specific question that you want the tea to from Spirit. And if your question is selected on air, it will be read on air. I do read 5 people every week from all over the world on the show, and be sure to include in the bottom of your email an alias, because I don't read your name for confidentiality purposes. Also be sure to pick up a copy of my book. I am now shipping internationally. For those of you that live outside of the USA and would like to get an autographed copy of my book, Starseed Footsteps, which is a book on different spiritual topics. I cover everything from what happens to when we die to how does spirit communicate with us, angels, hauntings, crystals. I talk about a lot of different subjects. So pick up a copy. If you don't want an autographed copy and you just want to order it from Amazon or Barnes & Noble, it is available there as well. And most importantly, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon, so that way you can be notified of any future videos that I do publish on the channel. Also be sure to check out my playlist. I'm getting a lot of requests for celebrity psychic readings that I have already done. You can just go to my my playlist in the very top, or to my YouTube channel at the very top. There's a search function. You can try to search for that reading. Just how I usually do it is that I'll put the person's name. So if it was like Aaliyah, I'll put Aaliyah psychic reading. So all you have to do is put their first name and then psychic reading afterwards to find that. So let me go ahead and get started into your horoscopes. Aries, this week for you, Aries, it is going to be a week in which you are feeling like you're pursuing a lot of your goals right now. You're very invested emotionally into someone. However, it does feel like at the end of every day of this week that your emotions are kind of running low. You feel like you're drained of energy. It feels like you are giving more to others and emptying your cup out to others than filling it up. It doesn't feel like you're being replenished. So you really need to watch the energy that you're giving to others. The time that you're investing in the energy is sacred. So make sure that you are treating yourself like you are sacred, because you are sacred. I do feel like there's going to be some issues that surface this week with someone at someone around you in your social circle. There could be some arguments. There could be some fights. I don't think this is going to be physical, but there may be like verbal disagreements, you know, that take place or over social media online. There's going to be little things that kind of disturb your peace. And you're going to have to stand, you know, you're not the person that likes to always fight, but I mean, you are the sign of war. So if you need to, you will, you know, meet them and they're going to be surprised by your energy. So, this is going to be a week in which you are going to find yourself being kind of confrontational. Certain things may irk you. It may have you feeling a little bit out of your element, so to speak, and you may be seeking someone, you know, hanging around some people that bring that energy back to you, that positive energy and that positive light. There is going to be a lot of synchronistic things that kind of appear to you. So whether these are angel numbers or these are sequence of events, like you go to the store in the morning and you normally don't, you know, get a sandwich and it's there for you to buy. It's, you know, and then at midday you happen to run out of gas, but luckily, you know, you're at the right there's a gas station close by right when your car is about to, you know, to run out of gas. So pay attention to kind of like those kind of things. It's going to be little things that are subtle, but at the same time, with the energy of, you know, the full moon, you know, dying off, and the energy of the last quarter coming into focus this week, it is going to be something where you feel like, you know, there's some patterns, there's things that are happening that are more positive. You just got to pay attention with it. There is also something about your feminine side. A lot of you that are females listening to this, or even your males that are listening, there's something about the divine feminine in you that is needing some healing. It could be that you are feeling, if you're a woman listening to this, you could be feeling like there is a man in your life that perhaps is being obnoxious to you or treating you very chauvinistically. He's acting very chauvinistic and just showing those kind of traits to you. So there's a part of your divine feminine energy, that part of your soul that is feeling a little hurt, and there's going to be some healing that needs to take place this week for you. So a lot of you will be kind of emotional. That's going to be normal this week. If you're feeling like that, just kind of de-stress and do something to pamper yourself. If you're a guy, it would be that you would be probably a little bit more sensitive than normal. And you may be thinking more like, on a reasonable side, showing a lot of compassion and nurturing, which would speak to your divine feminine in you. Whereas, the divine masculine is more, rugged, it's more logical and, things like that. So just pay attention to your energy and kind of, balance it out the best way that you feel like it's, best for you. But this was the horoscopes for the sign of Aries. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week. Taurus, this week for you, Taurus, it is going to be a week in which you're feeling trapped. A lot of you are feeling trapped. Trapped about a situation in your life. This could be like you are at a job and you're just feeling trapped. You don't feel like anything is going, or you're just trapped in your home. If you are someone who works out of your house, or you're just constantly at home, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or you're more of a caretaker for someone, there's this feeling right now that you're trapped in a relationship or a situation in your life, and it's kind of like you want to know what the future holds for you. It's very stagnant. There's a lot of stagnation surrounding the situation, a lot of emotions that are not that good. They're lower vibrations. This whole situation is bringing you to a lower vibration where you're falling into depression. A lot of you are falling into no hope, basically just feeling ultimately like there's no hope. But this situation has been going on for quite some time for some of you out there that this would apply to. So Spirit is showing that there is something that needs to end, and you have been wavering, teeter-tottering, but back and forth whether or not you should end this, whether, like I said, it's a relationship, or you just need to move. But financially, you have some fears that if you do move, that you wouldn't make it on your own. But Spirit is saying anything that is outside of this element that you're in right now is much better than what you are in right now currently. So you have to make some decisions. It's going to be very, very difficult, but you need to get in tune with your higher self. And in order to do that and to stand greater in your power this week, you do need to make some decisions. And you may be surprised at the outcome. Not everything is going to be as gloomy as it seems. It may not be as bad as it seems to you, but ultimately our first reaction when we go through something that may be a little difficult to understand, it feels like, at the beginning that perhaps there's no hope. But there is hope. You just have to believe and keep the faith. But whatever situation you're in right now, it's not working out for you. Spirit is showing there's a lot of resistance behind you on this. Resistance to move. You already received the validations from Spirit, whether this was being a dream that you had, or a conversation, or just being tired of arguing over and over, or having disagreements with someone. Spirit is saying the truth is staring you in the face. And basically, it's just a matter of the ball's in your court right now. It's all about you. And then Spirit is saying, that your finances, that is where your main concern is for a lot of you this week. You are going to think of innovative ideas and what you can do in your work to maybe go get a promotion, or if you're not able to move up in that company, or you feel like they're passing you by, keep your eyes scoped out on the next available opportunity out there for you. But it is out there. Definitely there is hope for you. But Spirit is saying that you just need to kind of get out of that funk that you're in, so to speak, right now, and you will be able to move forward. So I want to thank you for tuning in. This was a horoscope for Taurus out there. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that red subscribe button, as well as that notification bell icon, and don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video. Thank you so much. Gemini, this week for you, Gemini, it is a very powerful week. This week, Gemini, it seems like you're moving away from drama, moving away from someone at a distance. A lot of you out there that are fellow Geminis could be thinking of actually moving. Now that, you know, you're getting closer to getting your income tax, there's a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, but there is some kind of change that a lot of you are making, whether this is a trip overseas or a trip, you know, here in domestically in the USA, or wherever you are located or living, whatever part of the world, there is going to be a trip of some sort. And then for some of you, it may not be a trip. This can translate as you moving away from a situation or moving a location, like, you know, changing your apartment. Maybe your lease is coming up, or you have the money to now move into a home, whether you break your lease or not. These are the kind of decisions that you're having to make, but whatever it is, it looks like you're avoiding, or rather than avoiding, you're escaping and moving away from drama. And there is happiness in that. When you're able to move away from dramatic people and people that bring down your spirit, there's a lot of happiness. So there's a lot of focus around your home life right now, your family life, children. If you're in a relationship, there is a lot of fulfillment there. You feel very fulfilled for a lot of you out there. On this week at the same time, there is an immaturity that surrounds you. There is someone that is very immature, a very young type of, you know, energy that or soul, and when I mean young, not in necessarily in years, but in spiritual years. Like, you know, there's old souls where there's young souls. Well, there is someone that is, I want to say it's a male energy that is kind of immature, and it could, this person could kind of irk you in many ways. The way that they, you know, think, their thinking is very immature, very impulsive, very confrontational, very petty. So this is kind of like the energy that you may, you know, encounter this week. I don't feel like it's going to be very bad and very short-lived, because I do feel like, you know, there is some part of their divine masculine that needs healing, and they're going to go through that. But it seems like right now they are the ones that are going through some very difficult situations, maybe obstacles, not knowing exactly, you know, what is coming next, not listening to you or your wise counsel, you know, sage advice. They're not listening to that. So it kind of, they feel like they're going on a journey of their own in their career, or perhaps in their own personal life or relationship with you or whoever that they are involved with. But it seems like Spirit is saying to you, you know, because a lot of Geminis like to help others and really kind of give, you know, their best opinions and whatnot. Spirit is saying this week, you know, for you to kind of step back, focus more on yourself, on the things that you need to do, things that are going to make you happy, and let this person kind of, you know, deal with their own issues. It's not meant for you to kind of carry this person anymore, or to kind of, you know, contribute any more energy or time in this. You have more bigger things to tackle this week that are more important than this. I'm not saying this person is not important to you. It could be like a family member or a spouse, but whoever it is, Spirit is wanting you to kind of, you know, focus on your own issues. There's a lot of healing that you may need, a lot of, you know, self-love that you have been neglecting yourself, that you're needing, and it's not selfish to focus on that. So again, it's going to be a week of shifting your perspective from someone that is a distraction to yourself, and, you know, infusing yourself with all that love that you have to give and all that positivity, because that is essentially what all the Geminis out there should need and will be needing this week, with the intense energies that surround us at the end of the month, going into the new month of February. So I want to thank you for tuning in. If you did like this horoscope, please give it a thumbs up, and be sure to like the video. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button, as well as the notification bell icon, so that way you can be notified of any future videos that I do publish. Thank you once again. Blessings and love and light. All right, Cancer Moonchild, this week for you, it is going to be a week in which you are feeling like you are walking in a direction, or moving in a direction where things are murky, things are kind of blurred, things are not clear to you, but you know, or you're trusting, a lot of you are trusting that you are making the right decisions. And that you're moving into something more positive, maybe in your career, your work life, where that is concerned. And Spirit is saying and validating for you that you are making the right decisions. There's essentially in life, there's no such thing as, you know, a bad decision or a wrong decision. a right or wrong. We typically, every decision that we make, regardless if it's considered wrong, is a decision that leads us to uh, a growth in our spiritual path and a lesson that we'll learn from and take from that. So for you, those of you that are wondering or stuck on pause in your life right now because you're not sure if you're doing the right thing, moving in a right direction, the answer is yes. Many of you are also focused on your love life. There's perhaps you are in a spiritual union right now. If you are single and you are maybe meeting someone, or you just really just began dating, there is a lot of synchronicities, a lot of synergy between you and another person, and it feels like this is a spiritual union. It's the beginning of a relationship to bloom for many of you out there. For those of you that are stuck in a relationship right now, that has been ongoing for quite some time, there's this factor of kind of finding some light in the relationship, especially if you've been having problems, and Spirit is saying that you can work things out regardless if you've been having problems. And for some of you, this horoscope may not apply at all, that aspect of the horoscope. However, there are some celebrations, so some of you out there will be getting together with a group of your girlfriends or your friends, your guy friends. There is some celebrations going on, whether it's an engagement, it's a wedding, or it's a birth, announcement of a birth, or a birthday or an anniversary coming up. There is some kind of celebration that's taken place this week for some of you out there. A lot of you are also needing to know that you need to go with the flow. A lot of you are being stuck because you're trying to maybe do things the hard way, and Spirit is telling you that there's an easier solution. Perhaps you know that answer, or you know how to do something easier for you, but you want to do it your way. Sometimes if we oblige and we do something that someone else is probably has a better idea of doing it, or they constructively criticize us and give us that kind of information, Spirit is saying, for you to go with that. It's okay to receive criticism right now. It's okay to explore new ideas, but go with the flow. A lot of you are resisting. A lot of you are just wanting to be stubborn and do things, your way. And sometimes it's a harder lesson for you that way. Those of you that have been feeling like, you're not being heard, or, you're not being acknowledged or really recognized by people around you. There are people that are really loving your light. They're loving your energy, and this is a time of celebration. It's a time of, kind of honoring yourself, and knowing that you do, you are all that and a bag of chips, so to speak. So, that's the energy that surrounds you. Also for you, Moonchild, this week, Spirit is saying that there is going to be some kind of wake-up call, whether this is you kind of paying attention to patterns that have been going on with someone, but there is something that needs to change, and it's kind of abrupt. It's a very abrupt type of change this week that is going to be happening. But regardless of it, you will get a little bit more clarity in the next 2 weeks over this. So don't stress too much on it. Just know, that it is coming. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to show some love and hit the like button if you like this video, and also be sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed, or you're newly, tuning in. Hit that red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon next to it, so that way you can be notified of any future videos that I do publish. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week. Leo, this week, Leo, there's a lot of things that are happening this week for you. It does seem like you're starting off the beginning of the week and you're prepared to maybe go at it with someone that and that you've been having some difficulties with. However, you're going to kind of hold back because Spirit is speaking to you. It's telling you it's time to forgive this person and forget. It's time to move on. Whatever has been going on in your life right now, it's very draining. It's very taxing. It's very just not conducive to your mental well-being and your health. So Spirit is saying that you just kind of, it's hindering other parts of your areas of your life and your happiness most of all. They want you to reevaluate your priorities. This is a week about reevaluating your priorities. What is the most important thing for you out there, Leo? What is it that is needing to, take more precedent in your life, whether this is, paying your bills, getting a job that pays you more or that treats you better, or, fixing a relationship that is strained, that, you care about this person, but rather than just throwing your hands up in the air and walking away from it, that's not the way to handle it. A lot of you are being asked to kind of look at your priorities and asking yourself, what is it that I need to shift? What is it that I need to work on? What is it that is going to bring me more happiness in my life, and more light and higher vibrations? When you're able to evaluate, a lot of you may need to make a checklist. Some people, would be listening to this. They may be stuck and not know how to go about changing this, what they need in their life to be changed. Make a list of, maybe your strengths, your weaknesses, kind of like if you were being asked in an interview, what is your greatest weakness? What is your greatest strength? These are the kind of things that you need to ask yourself from your perspective. Looking at yourself and analyzing yourself and knowing yourself better than anyone else. Ask yourself these questions, write them down, and then kind of work on those areas, that those lists that have maybe a little bit less, on your cons, more than your pros. And work on those and balance them out. But a lot of you are stepping into a very powerful energy this week. A lot of you are going to be really kind of observant, maybe a little quiet at times. There's a lot of focus on your family right now, on your children. They are your everything. That is what brings you main happiness. So it looks like, you and maybe their, their mom or their father could be getting into some kind of, heated conversation. There is like a little power struggle going on later in the week, going into the weekend. So again, these are going to be some, some talking points that you kind of need to evaluate this week, and things that you need to look at a lot better. There may also be some money that you need to look at that is coming in, and how you are going to, distribute that evenly in your bank account, paying bills, etc. You don't want to miss something. So kind of pay attention to your financials this week. Very, very important for Leos. So I want to thank you for tuning in. If you did like this video, please go ahead and show it some love. Hit the like button at the very top, and also hit on the bottom right hand corner if you're newly tuning in and have not yet subscribed to my channel. Go ahead and hit the red subscribe button, as well as the notification bell icon, so that way you can be notified of any future videos that I do publish. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week. Virgo, this week for you, Virgo, it is going to be a week in which you are feeling a little bit more recluse, kind of like a hermit. You're feeling more, for some of you, you may be feeling more like staying inside. The weather could be very cold or very hot where you live, depending on what hemisphere. But there is a lot of you out there that are going to be staying closer to home, after work. You're not really going to be in social mood, socializing, with others. Sure, you may be on social media, whatnot, but I mean like conversing through text, or, speaking on the phone, or going to meet the person in, someone in face to face. A lot of you are kind of moving away from, someone. You could be emotionally distant this week. So if you've been having some marital problems or relationship problems, or, you just are, this could even be a family member that you have a relationship with, and the relationship is strained. Maybe there's some powerful words that were exchanged between the both of you. Whatever the situation is, it's kind of like you're moving away from that. You're kind of being a little cold. Maybe you're ghosting someone yourself. And there is a finality to this, meaning that there is going to be a resolution. So whatever is going on that's been lingering, that has been kind of causing a disturbance in your inner peace, and causing you to kind of, contemplate, should you just, abruptly, just not talk to this person again, or could you ever trust them again? Spirit is saying that, that there is going to be a resolution coming forth. So, a lot of you could be expecting an apology from someone, receiving an apology, or them acknowledging in some kind of way, which is their own kind of way of, giving an apology, that they are wrong, admitting that, that they're not always right, and they do see that now. Spirit is telling you that you need to kind of face your shadow self. There is a side to you right now that you're not facing. This is a darker vibration in you. This could be some anger that you're harboring onto, or holding some resentment that you're holding towards someone, even though you'd like to think that, you're not a resentful person, but we all are at some point in our life. I mean, that's just how it is. It is what it is. And Spirit is wanting you to really kind of, look in your heart most of all, and ask yourself, what is it that is hurting me? Who is hurting me? Who has hurt me? How do I feel about that? Because when you kind of flat out just, ask yourself or think about it, you may not be able to pinpoint, where you are feeling like this, that you're feeling a certain way about, life, and just the cards that you've been dealt with, and you just kind of have to, pinpoint where it is. So wherever your heart space is, your emotions, think about who's hurt you, who, maybe you've hurt in some kind of way, and how are you dealing with it? A lot of people are turning to addictions, whether it's, you drinking, champagne or wine every day, and it's kind of turned more into like an alcoholism problem, or you kind of are smoking a whole pack of cigarettes, maybe 2 a day, and you're not controlling that, or maybe you're spending a lot of money when you go out, to eat every single day, when you could be cooking some meals at home. These are kind of the things, are just examples of things that you need to kind of watch, patterns that you need to watch that are going to restore some peace in you, and help you this week, in really identifying, what is it that you are needing to face in your shadow side, in your shadow self, and do that shadow work. And Spirit is also telling you this week that you are going to need to be of service to people. So expect people to come to you, whether this is their children or, an ex, even maybe some friends. There's going to be someone that's coming to you maybe for some advice. Again, this may not apply to every single Virgo out there, but Spirit tends to think that you are going to be needing to kind of give your wisdom, your mother wisdom, or your inner wisdom, and your pearls of wisdom out to people who need your advice, because maybe you are more seasoned. You've been through the hard knocks of life. You've gone through, whatever you've gone through, and so now you're able to kind of in a position to help people and give them some kind of counseling, spiritual wellness that they're needing. So pay attention to this, and that's the horoscope for this week. So if you like this video, please show it some love by hitting the like button, and if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit the red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon, so that way you can be notified of any future videos that I do publish. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week ahead, Virgo. Libra, this week for you, Libra, this is a week in which you are stuck in your life. Right now, there is a lot of illumination that is coming forth. There's things that, that you're needing to change, and that you need to change certain things in your life. Some of you may be, acting petty towards your ex, or some of you may be, pushing someone's buttons because you don't like them. These are kind of the negative aspects of ourselves that we need to kind of, work on this week, and releasing that energy. That energy is a darker energy. It's not going to help you in your, your life, and definitely not going to help your energy this week and how you feel. So you kind of need to eliminate this. Spirit is also saying that you are very focused on your past. A lot of you are focused on the things that went wrong, whether this was a marriage, whether this was a relationship that went sour. This was someone that cheated on you, someone that stole money from you, someone that just, the family never treated you well. Whatever it was, even if it was bullying, that you experienced in school, when you were in school or in any part of your life, Spirit is saying that right now, this is a time for you to kind of look forward. There's a reason that the past is behind you in the past, and that's where it needs to stay. The longer that you kind of revisit the past and stay in that vibration, it's just going to bring you no peace. So they're wanting you to kind of release that and look more towards the future. There's a lot more things to be really, thankful for, and see all of your blessings that you have. They're also telling you to engage, engage in a higher way of thinking. There's a higher purpose that you have in life right now. This could be that, you are, a healer and you're not sure yet in your career, but you kind of like the medical field. So a lot of you may be deciding to enroll for the fall, for your nursing degree, or, taking, some Reiki courses to become a Reiki master and kind of work on holistic ways of healing. Whatever it is, there's a higher purpose in your life. You have a very important mission here. We all have a purpose here on earth, the work that we do and who we are as a person. So Spirit is saying to just pay attention to that, and don't lose focus, because you are going to be successful in your path. A lot of you also are maybe teeter-tottering with someone, maybe that you are not in a relationship, but you are looking at someone who is interested in you, and there's a lot of sexual communication or flirtation. You are definitely feeling the vibe, some of you out there that are single, but you are not really, it's in the infancy stages. A lot of you are not very clear. You're kind of observant and really thinking about this person very much so, and it feels like, the energy is that they are thinking about you as well. So it's like, a two-part thing. It's definitely you considering yourself, what energy you want to do, if you want to move forward in this, or you need some more time. The thing here, Spirit is saying, is to not feel rushed, and most certainly don't rush into anything that, you don't want to. Take your time and evaluate everything, and that is the energy that surrounds Libra this week. So I want to thank you for tuning in. If you did like this video, please go ahead and show it some love by hitting the like button, and if you have not yet subscribe to my channel, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon, so that way you can be notified of any future videos that I do publish. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week. Scorpio, this week for you, Scorpio, the energy this week that surrounds you is about fulfillment, about, emotional fulfillment. A lot of you are looking for some fulfillment, whether this is a relationship in your family that is, kind of rocky, or is a personal relationship in your life. There's a lot of different choices that you have right now in the way that you can kind of get that happiness and that fulfillment. So you're going to have different avenues that you may be exploring this week, different things that you will be trying, whether it's communicating with someone in a different way, or changing, your attitude and the way that you view things. But Spirit is showing me that you are being more patient this week than you normally are, because a lot of you are somewhat impatient, or want things really, really, done your way very fast. Where your finances are concerned, it does feel like you are kind of, holding off on buying anything. It feels like you may be kind of feeling like, things are not looking too well. It's kind of sparse where your finances are concerned. So there are some worries that maybe you've spent too much, or maybe you don't have enough in the bank account for a lot of you out there. There is, a focus on money, and you will find a way to, fix your income and kind of think ahead. A lot of you are very business minded and oriented. So Spirit is wanting you to reassess the situation that you're in with your finances right now. Where can you cut back? Where can you maybe, stop spending in one area, so that way you can kind of have some money later on in the month. Basically restructuring. Maybe you get that, that latte, or, a grande at Starbucks every morning, or a cappuccino. And that's already like what, $6-7, or some places like $9, depending on what else you add in it, when you factor in taxes. So that is maybe money that you could be saving, if you go to, let's say, to a coffee shop that sells that same kind of drink or something different for only $2. So you're going to have to kind of reassess your budget and look at that, and where is your money really going, and set yourself a budget if you are not really keeping track of your money. This is something that any responsible adult should be doing, and that will help you with your finances where that's concerned. And Spirit is saying that Your vibrations this week are going to be raised. You're going to kind of find some ways to raise your vibrations, whether this is listening to music that's upbeat that you really like, things, or reading a good book that you're passionate about, or just working. You know, a lot of Scorpios out there tend to throw themselves into their work. That kind of brings them some kind of happiness because it's physical activity. And when you are doing physical activity, that kind of, distributes your energy very, well. So these are the things that you'll need to be paying attention to this week. But I want to thank you so much. If you did like this horoscope, please go ahead and show it some love by hitting the like button, and also be sure to hit the red subscribe button if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, as well as the notification bell icon right next to it on the bottom right hand corner, so that way you'll be notified of any future videos that I publish. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week. Sagittarius, welcome back to my channel. This is your horoscopes for this week. So this week for you, Spirit is telling you to do what you love. Do what makes your heart happy. A lot of you may be stuck in a position or doing something in your life that is not happy. It doesn't bring you happiness. It feels like a job. And anything that feels like a job is not going to be something that you do long term. So you really need to kind of reevaluate your life. Spirit is also telling you that you may have a lot of people around you that are not the best energy or influence for you. They could be people that are maybe, like, if you're a man listening to this, and you have guy friends that they're living more of the bachelor life, but if you are married or you're engaged or you are in a relationship with someone, they could be doing things or putting you in situations where it's not good for your, the person that you're with. Maybe it's disrespectful to them, and it also is something maybe where you're acting more like a bachelor rather than being, in a committed relationship with someone that you are supposed to care about. So Spirit is basically telling you to choose your friends wisely. Pay attention and be aware. Have that level of awareness. And this also could be for ladies out there that are listening, your girlfriends, some of them could be shady. Some of them could be very gossipy about people. Just pay attention to those things this week. A lot of you may be finding that, someone, one of your girlfriends is gossiping to you about one of your, mutual friends. And if they're doing that, anyone that gossips to you about someone else, it's very highly likely that they're going to be gossiping about you as well. So kind of hold on to your personal business. Don't disseminate that, or don't share it with someone, especially if that person has a way of not keeping things, to themselves, and they kind of divulge other people's business. This is something that you kind of need to really evaluate. A lot of you also out there, the new year's begun. A lot of you have stopped your resolutions. A lot of you have given up on your diets. Whatever you're doing, do it in moderation. Because a lot of you could be kind of turning more emotional this week, since the energy is kind of intense, and you could be, turning to food for comfort and overeating, or eating things that are very fattening. If you're, trying to lose weight, or you're on a diet, or, even if it's not that, it could be another area of your life. Maybe you're you are a gym fanatic, a fitness freak, and you're just on the gym, maybe 4 hours a day. And you're not, really spending time with, a loved one or family members, or you're not having enough time to kind of, run errands or pay bills. You're making a gym, or putting the gym, more of a priority in fitness than other aspects of your life. So there is a balance that is needed to be brought into your, your space and your life this week in particular. So pay attention to that. A lot of you also could be going through some disruption in your love life. There could be some emptiness around you, a very aggressive male energy that is kind of, stealing your peace in some way. They could be, coming at you, verbally attacking you, or being very demeaning, or just being very crude, or showing their macho side, their chauvinistic side. And this is something that's not going to set well with you. So Spirit is telling you to basically kind of, pull back, and again, choose who you are around wisely. And if you cannot pull back, then kind of, think about, how can you, confront this person and let them know from a place of love. And if you've exhausted all the options, then of course you may need to be a little bit more aggressive, or take some, show them some tough love. But basically, spirit is telling you that you need to do this, and it's something that you will be able to accomplish. So this is a horoscope for this week. Again, if you did like this video, please go ahead and show it some love by hitting the like button. And if you did like this video, please be sure to hit the red subscribe button if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, as well as the notification bell icon. So blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week, Sagittarius. Capricorn, this week for you, Capricorn, it is going to be a week in which you are needing to refine your attention. There is something that is stealing your attention. Maybe you're not getting your work done at work, or in your personal life done in a timely manner. You feel like there's a lot of time that's being wasted and you're getting behind or delayed in certain things that need to be done. Pay attention to where your attention is going and kind of refine that. Some of you are also needing to bust out of your shell. A lot of you are being very introverted. Perhaps you're surrounded by people that are outgoing, that want to invite you out to drinks after work, or just kind of socialize with you a little bit and get to know you as a person. But a lot of you could be very protective and have these walls that are been built up around you. So Spirit is wanting you to kind of, release those walls and kind of release that kind of way of thinking and being, and embrace, a new version of yourself, and allow some light to come into your life. You're very worthy of that. Some of you are also needing to kind of, turn to your imagination. Some of us have, as an adult, some of us have, as adults, have forgotten how to be creative, or our imagination is lacking. Looking at, your children, if you have children in your life, and how creative they are, how they find the magic in cartoons. There's never anything wrong with an adult looking at cartoons themselves. It kind of sparks your inner child. So some of you are needing to reconnect to your inner child, and that will help spark your imagination. And when you are, able to spark that creative side of yourself, that imagination, a lot of times we can find solutions for things in our life that are outstanding, or things that are not, really working out for us, and change it up, kind of chop and change things. And that's kind of what you need to do this week. And Spirit is also telling you that you are very interested in someone right now. For those of you that maybe are single, or in a relationship and you're thinking of leaving that relationship, there could be someone else already lined up, and there's some energy there that is being exchanged, whether but the energy that's kind of there is kind of you thinking, whether or not you should go forth with, expressing your love or your intentions and how you feel about this person, or you could, should you stay more to keep these more to yourself. But a lot of you are not sleeping well, at nighttime. You're waking up periodically. A lot of you could be, feeling like your home space is really like hell. There's no peace there, and that's kind of like, what Spirit is wanting you to kind of really look and evaluate, and what can you change in your space. Maybe you need to do a Palo Santo or sage your space to cleanse that energy. Maybe you need some counseling or some therapy, or your partner needs that. So it's going to be a lot of evaluation and reevaluation of what you need to do this week, and that kind of will help you, live in a better environment, in a better state of mind, to accomplish and be very productive and carry out the things that you need to carry out in your life. So I want to thank you so much. This is your horoscope for this week. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, show it some love, and also be sure to hit that red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon, so that way you can be notified of any future videos that I do publish. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week. Aquarius, this week for you, Aquarius, is going to be a week in which you are needing to become a clear channel. There are maybe people that look up to you right now, or people that, surround you, that need your support, your emotional support. They need your clarity that only you can provide. A lot of you are very spiritual Aquarians out there. A lot of you are really, someone that is a clear channel, or you're coming into fruition more into and embracing your spiritual side. But there's a lot of struggles right now around spirituality for a lot of Aquarians, especially if you're in a high profile type of job, or you're kind of well known in the spotlight, or you just have family that maybe is not on that same level, or friends. A lot of you are kind of, toggling back and forth. You may stand assertive and, say that you are, spiritually, awakened, but it's time to take it to the next level. And that's kind of where the power struggles are going to kind of, surface this week for you if you're not, being unapologetic, when it comes to your spirituality. A lot of you also could be having a lot of blessings right now that have, been taking place over the last couple of months. This week you're needing, you're being reminded by spirit that you need to count your blessings, regardless of how small it is, regardless if you're not a millionaire or you're not at the at the level of where you want to be financially. Spirit is saying that basically, count your blessings, because when you are coming from a place of gratefulness and being just thankful for and humble for your blessings, you're going to open doors of success for yourself. Things are going to open. So a lot of you are struggling this week with feeling emotionally kind of drained. Maybe you're working a little bit more than you need to, or something has you a little strained, or a little you could be missing someone in your life that was there a few months or weeks ago and now is no longer there in your life. And ultimately it's your choice, whether or not you want this person to to help you right now. If you need help, it's there. If you don't want it, then Spirit is basically saying that you will find that help that you're needing, or the answers that you're needing, but you do need to kind of take a step back and kind of reevaluate the whole situation. The world is your oyster, and basically financially, there's a lot of decisions that need to be made. You could be investing in two different people, two different things in your life right now where that is concerned. So basically this is all, the energy that surrounds you this week. So if you like this video, please show it some love by hitting the like button, and also go ahead and hit the red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon. Again, if you have not yet subscribed. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing, amazing week. Pisces, this week for you, it's very simple. Spirit is saying for you to keep your commitments. Whatever you're committing to, if you're saying that you're going to do something, be sure to do it. For sometimes, we're human, things happen. Sometimes we can't do what we commit to, but have that open dialogue and that open discussion with someone, if you're not able to do it, and let them know that you're not able to do it, or meet that if you can reschedule, or you can, kind of get an extension on what is needing to be done, and make it up to them in that kind of way. You could be also very distracted by technology. Perhaps you're always on social media at work, and on your way to work, or on the way, if you ride a public transportation like a bus or a train station, whatever it is, there's a lot of distractions right now. You could have maybe your friend messaging you all the time when you're at work, constantly texting you, and they're not really respecting your what you're doing. And it's kind of like where you're going to have to set some boundaries with those people, even though you love them or you do appreciate them, but there needs to be some kind of some boundaries that are healthy, that are set up to kind of tune out these distractions. A lot of you also will be needing to address, certain behavior patterns. These could be addictions, to food, to maybe where you give all of your attention and energy to. Maybe you are just, constantly, going and helping someone else, and you're not helping your partner out. Whatever it is in your life, whatever it is that you're doing that you are not aware of, but it feels kind of addicting in some kind of way. Maybe it's like you having, you have to have that ice cream shake every day after work at Sonic, or In-N-Out Burger. You have to have a burger every day. This is something that's more of like a, an issue that maybe it's a very in its infancy stages, but something that definitely needs to be addressed. Some of you this week are also turning to your spiritual side. You could be turning to magic, studying, embracing more of a Wiccan type of energy this week, embracing that and kind of being a magician in some way, kind of changing things, though in your perspective and how you do that, and reconnecting to nature. So these are kind of like the energy that is surrounding you this week. A lot of you also could be, discussing, having conversations with a friend, and feeling like you both are vibing on the same level, and both are maybe going through some relationship issues or some emotional issues with your family, that are, kind of depressive in some way. In some way, you both vibe on some level that it's kind of synchronistic and at the same level where you both bring healing to yourself this week. So a lot of healing has taken place for Pisces this week in particular. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you did like this video, please show it some love and hit that that like button. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing week.